As you can see, stringers are all in. All the bulkheads are in. The forward bulkheads are kind of in position, waiting to be glassed in. I've got some knees put in. My little stubs are in. I am this close to getting the floor put in this thing. Next step I need to do first, though, if you'll look, there's actually holes drilled through all the bulkheads. And the reason for that is I'm going to run 1-inch conduit, 3 pieces. One's going to be for electric, if I want to put lights on here. That way I can run the electric forward, or power outlets, anything like that, can run that through that conduit. Another piece of conduit for a future live well setup, and another piece of conduit to run the fuel line, because the fuel tank's going to go in the front and of course needs to get to the back where the motor's at. So the next step, I'm going to slide those pieces of conduit in there and get them glued and glassed into place. After that, honestly, it's ready for the floor to be put in. So let's get these pipes in. Start with this little guy, as it's the easiest one. Yay, it's in! I need to put a little stand to hold this right here. About there. Okay, they're in position. Now I gotta go make some glue to glue them in. Check it out, I made this nice little spacer piece that's gonna squeeze up underneath the pipe here and kind of hold it in position once I get that glassed in. Right like that. Boop. All right, so I got me a little slurry of crud mixed up here. First thing I'm gonna do is glue this thing in. Slide it back for a sec. Okay, it's been a little while. I've got all the pipes glued in. They are solid as could be already. I'm going to go ahead and tear a couple of little pieces of chop strand, and I'm going to seal in these fillet welds I did with some chop strand and bring them out a little ways onto each pipe just to help secure things a little extra. And to seal in, like I made this little block here to seal that block in, and I'm going to just cover those blocks in with a little bit of chop strand as well. I don't think they really need anything more than that. All right, so it might seem like I'm kind of popcorning around, and that's because I am. I'm kind of at a point now that I can only work in one spot for a little bit, and then to keep things moving, I need to move on to the next task. So the stringers are in. All of the conduit is in to use as chases for everything. That's all in. Seal coat is down on the entire bilge. I'm pretty much ready to put the floor in, but I need to reinforce the transom still. I'm going to add one more layer of 1708 to the outsides of my knees that I put in before I put the floor in, because once the floor is in, I can't get to that spot anymore. So we're going to do that, but so that I don't know exactly how much glass I'm going to use to do that, I need to have a couple of other projects ready to go so that I can kind of cascade into those. So I'm going to do the knees. Then I'm going to flow over here and tab in the front bulkhead. But before I can do that, I need to mix up a little bit more putty and glue in the extra layer of reinforcement to this bulkhead plus that bulkhead, and continue to fillet weld in the front bulkhead. So as you can see, it's kind of like for one thing to happen, 3 other things have to happen first. That's just where this project's gone, and I want to get it done, so we're moving along. so all my fillet welds are in, and as you can see, I already have my tape seams on here as well. Next step is I'm going to lay a whole sheet of glass on each side of this bulkhead. So let's do it. See, I got the bulkhead all the way in. It's fully glassed and secured. Next up, I'm gonna start prepping the back of the boat for putting the floor in and continue working on these bulkheads, kind of yo-yoing back and forth as I work on different things. Stringers are done. Everything's ready back here. I'm gonna work on some flotation and final preps so that I can slap the floor down. But if you want to see how I did these stringers,